And opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answer to human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2.5-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers. And you can transform your life right now on VCMG in South Florida. SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2.5 hours, listen and call in toll-free 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube and share love and light.
There Oh, yes, indeed. There's a light right here on the Oldie Station. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. That's the number to call to connect and to have your question answered. I want to give a very special thank you to everyone who came to the Expedito Enlightenment Center. The Expedito Enlightenment Center hosted our fabulous 16-year anniversary. And when we created this 16-year anniversary, we had the idea that we would have it live at the center. So at the center we were. And I want to thank everyone who took the time to come out and to celebrate there at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. And we are really glad to have you joining us here tonight. And we're going to answer your questions. And thank you for listening to us on 95.3, 95.9, 96.9, 106.9, 104.3 in Miami, and 104.7 HD3, and 103.1 HD3. Wherever you're picking up this signal, this frequency, shall I say, we're really glad that you're connecting with us. So I posed this really interesting question in a conversation I had with my spirit guides, and there's so much going on in the world, right? I think we'll all agree it's just been, oh, Lord, cover your eyes, don't want to look at the television, right? But we're being bombarded by so much. Then it made me reflect on the different things that we've all gone through in our lives, collectively, as well as individually. Some of your own personal difficulties. And I thought, well, why do those things happen? Sometimes I just sit with God and I ask the question, why? And I'm sure you've asked that question at times. When you're going through a difficult, challenging time, maybe it's gut-wrenching, and you sit there and say, why God? Or you say, why me? First thing I always hear when I say, why me? I always hear God say, why not you? Well, because we don't want to go through it, right? But now we've gone through the experiences, right? Let's look in our past and see, where have you had problems? Where were the hiccups in life? Were they set within a relationship or a series of relationships? Were there difficulties in your family matters? Were you through some financial ups and downs that kind of threw you for a loop? Was there an unexpected job loss? Maybe there's a loss of a parent. We have to ask ourselves, why is all this going on? Why is it happening to me? What's going on? And when I sat with the spirit guides and the angels, I began to get a story. The story went something like this. There you are, minding your business, in a job you like. Suddenly the company gets bought out. Climate changes. People are different. You were prepared to stay at that company for the rest of your career. And suddenly something happens. And you don't have the opportunity to stay there anymore. Because they revamp, they reorg, and you're out. That shakes your world. What about that relationship that you really thought you found the one, your person? Sometimes people get obsessed with, who's my person? When am I going to meet my person? And then you finally find your person. And then something doesn't work out. The relationship fizzles. Perhaps there's interference from other people. Something goes wrong. It's a curveball you weren't expecting. So why do we get those curveballs? Why do these things happen to us? Most certainly it's not because the universe, our guides, our angels, the divine, want us to suffer. That can't be it. All right, let's throw some free will into the mix. We have free will. You made a choice. Maybe you didn't include the divine with the choice. Maybe you didn't check in with your angels and make sure it was the right choice. Maybe you made a left instead of a right, even though you thought it was the right path. It's possible. But why does it have to fall apart? Why does it have to end abruptly? Why does something have to catch you by surprise? Why, just when you're getting comfortable, does something hit the fan? Why? Well, in my conversations and my reviewing conversations with all of you, and some of my own stories, I came to an understanding that every time we get knocked down, every time we're going through something, we're in a preparation mode. It just doesn't feel that way. God is preparing you for what's to come next. Whether it's going to be something fabulous or something that you need to work through, God is preparing you. I'll give you an example. I was at a job that I loved. I loved the people. I loved the environment. It was a job that kind of caught me by surprise. It was an industry I didn't know much about, but I came in. They welcomed me with open arms based on my abilities, and they showed me the ins and outs of their industry, and suddenly I was growing and earning good money, and I felt seen and heard and appreciated, and I wanted to do a good job for them. Have you ever had one of those jobs? And the people actually felt like family. Oh, yes, there were a couple people here and there that, well, like family. They may not be your favorite person at the moment, but the core people in my circle that I worked with were fabulous human beings. I couldn't ask for more. It was a time when I was on my spiritual journey, so I just figured, wow, everything's aligning. I'm attracting everything. But then the company did get bought by another company, and it was one of these Wall Street companies, boiler room mentality, and they're like, we're moving you down to State Street right by Wall Street, and that's where you're going to be. I didn't sign up to go to New York City. I was in New Jersey. And the move happened, well, actually began to happen right before 9/11 and continued through that whole period of time fresh in our minds of 9/11. I can assure you, nobody really wanted to go to the city at that time. And the pathway I would have taken, had I already been transferred, would have been I would have been under the Twin Towers, coming up from the subway, minding my business, heading towards my new office. I would have been walking down the street to State Street. So not something I wanted to do. But I had to go. It was my job. It was what I needed to do for my family. Right? We all do things we don't necessarily always want to do. I had gotten really comfortable. But I said, all right, we're going to look at it as an adventure. We're going to work on being protected. But I wasn't happy. But I also wasn't getting paid what I was worth in the marketplace. And that was there in my mind, but I figured eventually I would even that. And now I look back and I say, wow, God knew I was comfortable, and I was comfortable in a plan that wasn't God's plan for me. Because I was cool to stay there for a while. Even though we had moved to New York City. I figured I could make it work. But then in the back of my mind, I had that sense that I needed to be paid more, like many of you have at your jobs. And I kept thinking about that, and I kept looking around as I walked through the city to work every day. Now I have like over an hour commute when I used to have a 10-minute ride up the road. It's like, oh, this isn't what I thought I signed up for. So that began to chew at my brain. So I thought, I'll see who else wants to hire me. Let's see what's out there. And I no sooner thought that thought than a recruiter called me. I said, hey, I've got a company looking for someone who's got your qualifications, and they're paying this much. And well, it was $20,000 more than what I was making, and at exactly what I thought I was worth. You know what I said? It's a sign from the universe. So I thought, oh, as much as I love these people, this must be what I'm supposed to do, jump ship. Now remember, I'm uncomfortable, but I think things are about to get even more uncomfortable. Why? Because I wasn't where I ultimately needed to be. So I went through this phase of interviewing. It was around the holidays, so things always take so much more time. And then the call came in January. You're hired. So I had to go to my little family of a group of people and say, I'm leaving. Made me feel sad, but I also felt proud. Look what I was accomplishing. I had a plan. How many of you think you have a plan? I had what I thought was a great plan. And there was benefits to this plan. I didn't have to go into the office all the time. The office was in New Jersey, so that helped. But I thought, this is a cakewalk. I'm going to continue what I'm doing, build the relationships that I already have, find new relationships with potential clients, and this is going to be a slam dunk. Then I got an idea. Oh yeah, God loves when we get these ideas. But now I realize that the idea I got wasn't even my own idea. Now you may be listening saying, what do you mean, Sarah, you didn't have your own idea? I really think that God, the angels, the Holy Spirit, whomever put this idea in my head of a high vibrational thought that, well, if I don't have to go to an office and I can be remote, then I can live anywhere. So I decided to move to Florida. So now you're thinking, great, you've got it made. I'm thinking I've got it made. And then I moved here, and then everything changed. It was all a ruse. Wherever you are in life that's uncomfortable, and you're leaving and fleeing, thinking you want to be somewhere else, God is just preparing you for something bigger, greater than you've even imagined. God is just letting you go through the motions so that you can find your way to a different path. God is just letting you think you have these great ideas in your human mind, thinking you've got control and you are the great orchestra of your own life. But you're not. So I moved to Florida. Those of you who listen to the show know I moved here in August of 2004, and by October of 2004, my life was not in a good place. Everything I worked for got put on hold because I fell and hurt myself. Now I'm in doctor's offices. It's just a mess. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what next? And mind you, those of you who live in South Florida, if you were here in 2004, you know we had 2 hurricanes, one at the end of August coming into Labor Day, and then one after that, somewhere at the end of September or mid-September. It was like 2 weeks later. I'm like, where did I move? New York City's looking like a party to me right now. But we navigated. And then I was in that moment of the dark night of the soul. You know that moment where you're questioning every choice you've ever made. You're wondering where you went wrong. You're wondering why you have these great ideas and dare to think outside the box, because look what it got you. Because I was blaming myself. I was thinking, all right, little miss, I can live and work anywhere. Miss, I think I got the answer. You look at the mess you got yourself into. Me, a kid, and a cat. Okay, what am I going to do? And that's when God got my attention. Sometimes you got to be right there going through it, and I mean going through it, for God to nudge you and say, hey, none of what you're doing is the big plan. It's what I allow you to humor yourself with, to occupy your human mind, to satisfy your conditioned emotions that think you know who you are, and I let you play in the playground of life that you think you're controlling, but you're not. It's being controlled and manipulated by patterns and experiences that have shaped you into who you are. But then there's a higher plan that's really pulling the strings on the whole story. So I ask you now, what are you going through? Where are you now? Where are we as a collective conscious group? Why is the world going through what the world is going through? Why do we not know where to turn, or who we can trust, or who's telling the truth? Why can't people get along? Why are we right back having disagreements and problems in countries that they just can't stop having these problems? Why can't someone come up with the answer? And why are you helpless in your own life and helpless in the ways of the world? Because you can't go somewhere and fix a war. You don't have a say. So you think. But what can you do? You see, there's something inside of each one of us that hasn't been activated yet. Some of us have had some, what I'll call a ping of vibrational adjustments that are waking you up and getting you on the path. You know, I had mine when I fell. It was the aha moment. And God was preparing me for where I am. God prepares me every day for where I'm to be. I get prepared for all of you. Sometimes when some of you come to me and you say, oh, this is what happened to me, or I had this ailment, or I had this difficulty with a friend. You know, God is always very quick to remind me of the time when something happened to me. And it's funny, a lot of those times I'll have it come in my mind, you know, thinking of a falling out that I had with a person, or something that maybe I could have handled a little differently, better. Something that needed to be recalibrated. It'll pop in my head and I'll be like, wow, yeah, I've come a long way, or I'm really glad that, you know, I'm not in that toxic environment or dealing with that toxic person. I'll kind of reminisce for a moment. And then that no sooner happens, do you know that one of you will walk in my door at my Expedito Enlightenment Center and sit across from me, totally devastated with your world falling apart, and you're going, I can't believe this is going on, but my whole family is turned against me, and I'm the person trying to point the truth out to everybody. Nobody wants to listen to me. I'm being alienated, and I can't take it. I'm like, really? Right? And I think to myself, I understand where you are. And then the voice that comes in my head, that's never my voice, says, oh, they're being prepared. And often Spirit can't say directly, you are being prepared for 5 years down the road so you can be in this place at this time with this group of people doing this task or experiencing this emotion or connection. Because where you are, you wouldn't believe us if we told you. Because where are you? You're caught up in the throes of the difficulty you're in. And believe you me, when we look around the world, we are seeing what? A lot of difficulties. Right? People are shaking their heads coming out of the grocery store, not understanding how they just spent $300. On what? Feeling the overwhelming concern of how much longer can I keep this up? I just spoke with someone earlier today, and they were sharing with me how they're kind of juggling things to sustain and maintain their business. But you got to do what you got to do, right? Got to do it. And they don't understand how they're there because they did everything they could to plan to not be there. Another person opened their business not too long ago, and now they're sitting there really not in a good spot. but they're being prepared for something else. And sometimes you're being prepared so that in this trial and tribulation and this difficulty, why, it's not that God's yanking at it, trying to take it away from you, or take the love of your life away from you. It's teaching you how to sustain and maintain what you have. Sometimes God's just toughening you up so that when the real conflict comes, when the real threat to your relationship comes, when the real financial crisis comes to your business, or the real health issue arises, you know what to do. You know who you are. You know what to believe. You've got a connection. Right now, we are all being prepared to connect, to have this direct connection to the divine so that we know exactly who we are. And we know exactly how to think positive thoughts and send powerful energy to any circumstance, any situation that comes our way or that we see from afar. Even if we're not a participant in it, we have the power to transform it. You have the power. God's not doing it to you. You don't always make wrong choices. I hear people say, oh, with my luck. You don't have bad luck. You're in a phase, you're in a moment, you're in an aspect of your time that is meant to teach you something. And not like you're some little kid with a dunce cap sitting in the corner and you're in trouble. It's not time out. It's designed to get you to tune in and ask the big questions. Designed to have you say, do I really want to stay in this relationship? People stay in relationships that they don't want to be in. It gets you to ask the question, who am I? And what am I being prepared for? Because who have I really come to be? Well, we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we're going to go to the phone lines at 866-972-7247. We thank you so much for listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. And I do hope you continue to stay on and listen with us no matter where you are, and continue the journey as we come back in just a few minutes to answer your questions. We'll be right back. That shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WFLM 104.7 HD3 Palm Beach Shores, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies Channel.
SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next 2 hours of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another 2 hours to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
And we are back here live on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation. And we're welcoming your phone calls at 866-972-7247. We're so glad to be connecting with all of you. And we want to thank our friends on Facebook and YouTube. Join me on the Sarah Spiritual page on both of those platforms. And there you can ask your question. And we may pick you tonight to read off your answer. So as I connect here tonight, I want to welcome you and I want to thank again everyone who came to the Expedito Enlightenment Center last week for our 16-year anniversary. We're so glad to have celebrated that with all of you, and here we are moving our way around straight towards our 17-year anniversary. It'll be here before you know it. And we're thanking everyone here on the Oldies Station for all that they do, and we want to thank everyone listening on 95.3 and 95.9 and 96.9 and 106.9, 104.3 in Miami, 104.7 HD3 and 103.1 HD3. Glad to make this connection. So we're going to go to our phone lines. If you're just joining us, we are taking calls, answering your questions about life, and maybe what is God preparing you for, depending on where you're at in your journey. And we're going to go to a caller who is in Jupiter. We have Joy in Jupiter. How are you doing, Joy?
Hi, Sarah. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome. And I would think, Joy, right now things aren't feeling as joyful as you'd like them to. You're feeling like a sense of change and shift, right? So normally you're supposed to be happy and joyful, and you're like, what is going on, Sarah, right? You're kind of going through some twists
Absolutely.
and changes. Yeah, I see that. And I feel
Absolutely.
that you're being prepared to make a change in your life. And it's an important time for you to take a good stock in who's around you, who's been part of your support team, and who's really meant to be in your circle. And I feel like you're being kind of brought down to your knees at this time so that you have no other choice but to make the change. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, it does. Actually, a couple of years ago, I took a big leap in my life and quit my job, sold my house, and moved down to Florida. Donated 80% of my stuff, and I had a faith that, God would show me the way, and I would do something better. I would thrive in my new life, but now I hit the rock bottom, and I feel stuck. Even though I changed my career, it's not going well and not fulfilling at all.
And it's not the environment you thought. And no offense to Florida, but you're really kind of feeling like Florida's not all it was cracked up to be in your mind. Is that true? Except for the beach.
Sort of. I make great friends, but yeah. Yeah, I love the environment, but, I'm not making money and I'm not. So, anyway.
So this is the year that's a catalyst for change, and God brought you here for a reason. And the reason for you was for you to discover yourself and for you to discover the different sides of your personality. If you've been giving thought and consideration that you might move, I can tell you that the energy of move really begins to take a stronger force around you as we come into the energy of September. I do see a possibility of you leaving where you are and making a move. And that's something that I don't want you to look at as a defeat if that's what you decide to do. I want you to look at it as you went on an adventure. The adventure didn't play out the way you wanted it to. You have a new version of yourself, a new career. We take a look at where can we apply that work and that career somewhere else, and we decide accordingly. The rock bottom that you have is just a setup for your comeback. And I know that you've basically over the years have been like Joy, the comeback kid, and you've been spending a lot of time rebuilding yourself. Even when I take you back to, I have to go back to I want to go back to 2007. My guides tell me that you went through some shifts and changes then, and you kind of had to revamp yourself at that time. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, absolutely. I got divorced.
Okay. So here we are, set up for a comeback. You came back from that, and look at where you are. You are ready to make a change. What is your questioning around your current story and situation?
I don't feel like I'm on the right path, but I don't know what I should do.
Yeah. You're on the right path of self-discovery. You're not on the right path for your work and your career in this area. You came up with a great idea that you thought would work for you, but it should inspire you to come up with a new version, of what you do. And I feel like coming into your birthday in August, you're going to have a better sense of an understanding of who you are and where you can make adjustments. But then you want to pick, where do you want to make the adjustments? Do you stay here in this part of Florida? Do you go to another part? Or do you just leave the state altogether? That's a free will choice. But before your next birthday in 2026, I'm not really feeling that you're going to be here. I feel like you're going to make a change. So there's a choice here before you.
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, there's a choice? Okay. I thought
There's a choice. Yeah, there's a choice for you. But first we have to work on the career aspect. Because you're very good with people. You're very good with organizing things. You're very good in being of service to others. You're very attentive to detail. You bring so much to the table. You're well liked, well received, and there's no problem for anyone else you cannot solve. So now let's apply those problems, those solutions, I should say, to your problems. You will have a better sense of peace,
Okay.
Spirit is telling me, and understanding in the month of August. So begin to journal what you would love to change and what you want your life to be like. I would love my life to be more financially flexible, more financially stable. I'd like to enjoy the following aspects of the current work I do, but I'd also love to incorporate, put the other aspects of work that you'd love to do, and write it down and really pray on it and hold the vision, and then give it to the universe so the universe can give you what they have been preparing you for all along. Year of great change, feels like trials and tribulations, but I know, Joy, it is a setup for your comeback. All right, my dear.
Thank you. I believe so too. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Joy, how did you hear about
That
the
was-
show?
I heard about it from a friend.
All right. Well, thank your friend, and we are local to you. We are in West Palm Beach, my center, so you can always pop into the Expedito Enlightenment Center. We've got quite an array of products and things that can assist you in manifestation and clearing energy and kind of getting yourself in a better state of frequency. All right, my dear. Thank you so much for your
Awesome.
call. We appreciate you. Bye for now.
Thank you.
866-972-7247. And we're going to go to Broward County now, and we've got Lori on the line. Lori, how are you tonight?
Well, how are you?
I'm doing well. Good to make this connection with you tonight. And when I look around you this year of 2025, I want it to be a year of connection for you. I want it to be a year of success for you. I feel there's this sense of tribe and community and connections with people that is really going to be of value and importance to you. What is your question for me?
I guess I'm not really sure how to phrase the question, but I've been having a lot of difficulty and with three main areas of life, and with health, marriage, and finances, and I'm not really sure what to do. And I was wondering what you see or what, because lately I feel lost. I don't feel grounded. I'm just not feeling.
You're not feeling like yourself.
Well,
Yeah.
not at all.
And so when I look at where you are and I look at 2024, last year, a lot of this really started to begin building up in 2024. Is that correct? So it's been a few months that you've had this feeling. Is that true?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So take one aspect of your life that you want to change and make the change, right? So your health is a reflection of your stress and your dissatisfaction, and you're not feeling seen and connected to the people around you. Remember I said it's a year of connecting with people, but you're not feeling seen and connected. Does that make sense to you?
It does, yes.
Okay. And so you have to ask yourself, where do you place value on yourself? Where's the value here? Who are you? What do you bring to the table? What are you asking for that you're not receiving? Are we not receiving something that in your mind is basic? Then you need to give yourself permission to say, I'm worthy of that. I deserve more, right? And once you say, well, I deserve more, then we have to look at the people around us and who's not participating in validating you and creating an equal vibrational match of relation and relationships. And you need to then ask yourself, is this person before me someone who even is interested in making a choice to change so that we can grow together? Instead of my feeling like I'm on the outside looking in my very own life. Right? You see, your emotional dissatisfaction is the key to this disease, this imbalance in the health. Now, I also see here that when I take you back to the age of 8 years old, I'm also seeing that there was a period there around that time of your childhood that you were not being seen and heard by the family members, the people around you. You were not getting the recognition, the attention, and this is not to criticize them. This is just, Spirit is showing me that you felt like you were in some way on the outside looking in. Whether it was both parents or one parent, somebody wasn't really fully present for you, and you notice that. And if you notice people aren't present and acknowledging you for work and money right now, your family life is not acknowledging that, and your body is not grounded because you feel like so disconnected even from your own body. Does this resonate with you and make sense?
Yeah, very much.
So this year is the breakthrough year for you, but you have to write down what it is you want for your life. And what is God preparing you for? God is preparing you for getting ready to make changes. So what's something in your power and control that you can change? You can change how you relate to your own self so you can care for your own health. We cannot change other people. We can look at our job and say, do I want to stay here? What fear is holding me and keeping me here? What else could I do? Let me look over in a different direction and see what other aspect of work may bring me joy and happiness, right? Let me change the things that are in my control. Let me get my own individual power back, because when you get your own individual power back, then you can do anything. And then if the people around you that are your support team are choosing not to support you in the journey because they like you in the box that they're familiar with, because sometimes people like to keep us kind of trapped because that works for them, then you get to decide if you want to be in their circle anymore. And this year is a year of discovering new tribe, new community, and a new circle. So it is the perfect time for you to make choices that satisfy yourself. Does this give you some insight, Lori?
All right. It does. Thank you. I appreciate that. It absolutely does.
All right, Lori. Thank you so much for your call. We greatly appreciate you. Bye for now.
Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You too. 866-972-7247. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, please put your questions and your comments in the feed. We will be getting to answer your questions in just a few minutes. But for this moment, I've got to go to Martha. Martha is in Libertyville. Martha, how are you tonight?
Good, thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. Good to make this connection with you, Martha. How did you hear about us?
Yes, indeed. Through my friend Janet, who's listening in.
Oh, wonderful. Well, hi, Janet. Thank you so much for sending us Martha. Martha, when I look at where you are, they give me these words, and I love when they give me words, and I actually had to use these words a couple of times today, but they're telling me that this year is a year of you stepping into your power. You stepping into what purpose is. You putting down those healthy boundaries, right? Oh my God, I'm hearing my acupuncturist in my head. When I first went to see her, she's like, "You so stuck." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You stuck. I fix you." Well, guess what? You're stuck, honey. And we need to shift your energy, because I feel like you feel like there's more for you, but you just don't know how to get there. Does that make sense to you?
It does, yes. Okay. I feel very stuck right now.
You do feel stuck.
Can I ask a question, or do you ask me?
No, I don't ask you anything. Go ahead. Yes.
Oh, I'm in a building where they didn't like me from the beginning, and something backfired. The police got involved with a gentleman that was not being a gentleman to me, and unfortunately I didn't have witnesses, period.
Right.
So I tried to go to court with it, and there's still a lot of gossip in the building, and just horrible, deplorable things said about me.
Mm-hmm. And so this, let's think about this now. When we look at this storyline, where's the pattern here? Where have you had people turn on you? Because you're a straight shooter. You kind of mind your business. You're very specific, direct, honest, systematic in your approach. You've got a certain way about you. So kind of what you see is what you get. So I can't imagine that they got surprised by anything that you showed them. So what could they possibly have to gossip with? So now we go back in time, and let's spin the wheel. My guides are spinning the wheel. And now they're taking me back to, hold on, Let me see here. So first we want to go to 2010. What were you going through in 2010?
I think a very bad custody battle and divorce.
There you go. Okay. Where you were not painted in the best light in that divorce either, correct? No. Here we are again. So what is God preparing you for? What does God want you to learn from this? This is the question, not how deplorable these people are, because clearly, if you can, you want to surround yourself with the angels, seal yourself with light, ask God to open up another door and prepare you to find a place where you can find peace and a better opportunity, a better place to live, if and when that's a possibility. And remember, that's up to God. That's not up to you. Don't tell me anything about your bank account or how you can or cannot move, because the universe really doesn't care about that. You care about that because you think you need those things in a particular way. But if the universe says we're preparing you for a better group of people to receive you, but we have to have you stop attracting the pattern of people who have turned on you, then we need to fix that issue within ourselves. So you've had a pattern of being unjustly accused and betrayed virtually your whole life. So God is preparing you and been prepping you to be stronger and to choose differently in the energy of who you surround yourself with and even who you talk to. And I'm not saying, oh, you can't talk to anybody, but I'm saying now you've got to watch who's in your circle. Because for whatever reason, in this lifetime, your soul contract has you with a target on your back. This is true, yes?
Well, at times, yes.
Yeah.
I'm usually pretty happy
right.
person.
And you're not, but you get a target on your back, right? And you're not playing victim here. It's just like when you least expect it, the people you stood by or people you did right by or minded your business and just said hello and were a good neighbor, suddenly it's a problem. But I do have a sense, if I can say what I see here, I do have a sense from Archangel Michael, and I see Archangel Michael above us. I do feel that Archangel Michael's going to kind of right some of this, and maybe the court battle didn't quite go the way you wanted it to, but, people can say horrific things, but eventually they're all going to have their own messes to clean. Not that we wish that on them, but they've got their own stuff going on, right? So you surround yourself in the light, call upon the angels, call upon Archangel Michael to use his sword to cut away the karmic entanglements that bind you and these people to each other, to separate this energy, to free you so that you can go back to being your joyful, happy self. I hope I've been of service to you tonight, Martha.
Oh, yes, Sarah, indeed. I really appreciate what you said, and God bless you. You've given me a lot of hope.
Thank you.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel here, and God loves me.
God always loves you, honey, and God is taking good care of you and preparing you for what beautiful things are yet to come.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. Bye for now.
You mean a lot to me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Did you call me with your soul? Because you know me. I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation on the Oldies station at 866-972-7247. If you're just joining us, we're here every Wednesday night from 6:30 to 9 p.m. And it gives us an opportunity for us to chat and see what the universe has for you. So many messages that we receive from your guides and your angels. And I'm fortunate enough to be the conduit of that energy and share it with all of you. We're going to go back to the phone lines, and we're going to go to Amanda. And Amanda is in Miami. Amanda, how are you tonight? Good to connect with you, Amanda. Are you with us? Yes, hi.
I like that. Hello. Hi.
Yes.
Yes, I'm with you. I just want to see what messages God has for me, especially with a few dates coming up that are rather important in my life. And I'm open to receiving any messages you have for me.
Well, the first thing that I'm hearing, Amanda, is that this year for you is really representing you knowing who you are and coming to the understanding that you don't have to be anything anyone else expects you to be other than yourself. And that God made you perfect. And that everything that is perfect within you is to be honored and respected because you do everything with your heart and integrity. And with the things that are coming up for you, I see that what God was preparing you for and is preparing you for is to teach you to stand in your power, to know where the limitations are, and to keep yourself in this journey of being true to yourself and not allowing other people to dictate your worth, dictate your behavior, and impede on your personal peace. And so when you move yourself forward over these next 2 months, it's a resolution, a conclusion, a time of, all right, I've put that behind me. And then you may say, well, what was I to learn from that? You were to learn that you have more value than you gave yourself credit for, and that you gave yourself away too freely in a good part of your life to people who didn't appreciate what you brought to the table, whether it was in a work environment or a personal environment, and that you think that you're doing the right thing by showing up and being all that you can be for everyone, but not everybody's worthy of you giving all of you. And so the other lesson you're going to learn and that God's preparing you for is for you to understand the spirit of discernment, and to discern, is it you within you, your personality, that wants to be there and do more than is necessary and go above and beyond for so many different people in so many different areas of your life? Or is it God saying, go do it? You see, a lot of times it was your personality and your need to please others. Well, you've got to be able to please yourself first. And that's not being selfish. You have to honor the God within you. And when you honor the God within you and you're being true to yourself, you're not being selfish. And for some reason, you seem to have those lines blurred. And so as we move you forward, we see positive conclusions for the things that you're facing. And then it's time to move on. It's time to reinvent yourself. It's time to take you out of toxicity, and for you to understand that there are certain components to the places that you've chosen to work that hold and dwell within and upon toxicity. So if it's a toxic environment, you're going to have to take a good look at where do you really want to be with your work and your career, and how can you best insulate yourself in what is a very highly competitive and toxic environment that is built upon, this is what I hear from Spirit, many lies. And is that really who you are? And is that what you really want to be a part of? And is that where you want to show up with your 100% self to be devalued every day? So there's a lot for you to wrap your head around in the next month or so, but do know that you come out the other side and that you will be all right. And then it's your turn, with no apologies to anyone else, because it's time for you. Does this resonate with you and make sense, Amanda?
It absolutely does. And just to inform you, I've used that word a lot today, discernment. So that is no coincidence.
No coincidence.
And this message is no coincidence.
Well, thank you so much for your call, Amanda. We greatly appreciate you. Bye for now.
Thank you. You're
welcome. 866-972-7247. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. And if you haven't picked up the phone, well, guess what? Pick up the phone and join the conversation. But at this minute, I just have to take a minute and take a look and see what's going on Facebook. I know there are questions on Facebook. I know people are talking on YouTube, on the SarahSpiritual page, and I want to see what's going on, and I want to know who's got a question for us. So we're going to let them put up the question for me from Facebook or YouTube, and we're going to answer a couple of questions so our friends on Facebook and YouTube don't feel left out. On the YouTube page, we've got Carolina Garcia, and she says, what's Spirit's insight on me feeling disconnected, and why am I here? You're disconnected because, Carolina, you're not able to live, and you're not living the life that you want to live. You are meant to do things other than work, other than the tasks that you've done. You're meant to be here to inspire others through your artistry, through your communication skills, through your movement and energy work. You are here to embrace all of that. And you're feeling disconnected because you're realizing that at this moment, you haven't been able to surround yourself with the right people. And so you're feeling alone and isolated, and most certainly not connected to the people who are going to truly support the dream. So when I look at this energy, I say here to you, it is going to turn around, and very soon. this year, as we lead up to your birthday, brings about the changes and the resolutions and the direction of how we're going to resolve what we've had on our mind for a very long time. It's going to come to a head so that you have resolution, so that you can be free to be yourself and to enjoy what you have come to do and the path that is what God has prepared for you, which is to be of service to others. Thank you, Carolina Garcia, for your YouTube question. We're going to take another question from Facebook or YouTube. We've got Diana Hayes, and Diana Hayes is back from a surgery, feeling better. Her husband is having a hard time at work. What do I see for him in the very near future? So he's having a hard time because it's time for him to kind of move and grow, and I feel like there's resistance from the people around him. I don't feel like they want Diana to see him move and grow in the company. So this is a time for him to decide, do I stay or do I go? Am I in the place that allows me to be my own authentic self and to do my job well? It is a year for him to kind of be more creative, think differently. If the universe has a better plan for him to be open to make a change, to leave his current job and find another job. If the people at his current job are keeping him in a box and not letting him progress and not allowing him to be an asset to the company in his own unique way and allow him to move up and grow and of course, earn more money, then he needs to not be afraid and take a look and say, all right, let me see what else is out there. And God is preparing him and toughening him up for him to speak his truth and for him to not take this difficult environment personally, so that he knows that he doesn't have to stay there if he doesn't want to. Everything's a matter of time, so you can do anything for a short period of time, but it doesn't have to be the complete story for the rest of the year. Patience and some strategy will help him get the right solution. Thank you so much, Diana Hayes, for your Facebook question. Well, let's go back to our phone lines, and I've got to go to Ari, and Ari is in West Palm Beach. Ari, how are you tonight? Hi, Ari. Are you with us, Ari? All right, we're going to pop off, and we're going to go to Lara, and Lara is in New York. Let's see if we've got Lara on the line. Lara, how are you? Hi, Lara. Lara, are you with us? We are looking for Lara on the line, please. Lara in New York. All right. Well, hopefully we'll be able to connect with Lara. We're going to go to our next caller because we have quite a few callers on the board, and I want to make sure everybody's questions gets answered tonight. So from New York, we're going to pop on over to Hollandale. I've got Joey in Hollandale. Joey, how are you?
I'm pretty good, but I'm kind of cool. I called you because I'm all over the place, and the tension in my shoulders is incredible. I got over the Venus retrograde, and I listened to what you said back in Valentine, and around February, I think, or May. We're in the money.
Yeah.
We're having a little difficulty with money, but we're having more faith this time. And I've been asking the same question.
Good.
You were saying, what am I supposed to learn from this? I've gotten some answers, and I think at the beginning of the show, so the angels are contacting me more regularly, and I kind of wish that they would give me more direct contact. But I don't feel like they started showing up in my shower, and things would happen, and I'm kind of like putting in the work, but not really getting the income that I used to, and kind of I think I'm learning new things. But what does Spirit have to say to me? Am I on the path? I mean, no, I know I'm on the path. This is like my mission. I cry.
So here we have this for you. First thing I heard when you started to talk is, what am I supposed to learn from this? Trust. They are breaking you down, so the only trust you place is not in anything in the world, not even by your own hands. They want you to solely trust the universe, solely trust your angels, solely trust your guides. And by trusting your guides and your angels, you're going to be able to accomplish anything, because maybe we might not be as in the money as we want to be yet, but you're managing, right? And everything you need is being provided one way or another. Maybe it's not as easily or as in the form that you'd like it to be, but somehow you manage, and you go from one day to another, to the next week, to the next one, and then you find yourself in a much better place. Is that true?
Yes, I do. I'm psychologically learning that every time I go to sleep, I do get healing, and then I come back up and I'm meditating more, taking care of me. Like today, I could have worked kept forcing myself, but I said, no, I have to rest. My body was aching. It's just, but I really felt that growth, and nobody has been so consistent. I say, Sarah, I wish I could train how to connect with my own guide every day. I keep telling them, talk to me, tell me what I need to know, help me out. And I guess that's what's happening. I don't know.
Maybe they're not talking to you in the way you expect them to, Joey. Maybe you need to release the expectation of how you want them to talk to you and just let them show up, right? Like, there are times that my guides talk to me in a way that, it might be something repetitive that I see again and again. And I'm like, oh, okay, so you're here. Okay, good. But it doesn't always need to be this complete conversation where they're like, okay, we know you're not feeling well, or okay, we know you're concerned financially, but we've got you. They'll get your attention somehow, and you're like, oh, my angels are here. So once you realize your angels are there, you shouldn't worry about anything, because everything's going to be fine. If you're in the shower or you're getting ready in your house and you're getting a sense of the angels, then that's all you need. It doesn't have to be a full-blown conversation, at least not from their part. If you want to have spiritual diarrhea of the mouth and tell them everything, they're listening. But you don't have to get that in return, because it's not quite the same physical relationship and the conversational skills that you and I are having at this time, right? So they don't have to give you a stream of consciousness of, okay, and this is why we're here, and this is why you're going through this, and all right, in the next 3 months, this is what's going to happen, right? I guess that's why you call me, so you can get some of that stream of consciousness, because remember, I'm emotionally removed from it. I'm not connected to the story, so I am the observer of the experience, and so I then become the interpreter of the energy that I transmit and convey to you. So for yourself, you can't have this complete conversation, and they're not going to just pop up and manifest in front of you, although I know you've had your own spiritual sightings. I understand that. But they're just not going to manifest in the living room and be like, okay, yo, Joe, come on. Like, wake up. You'll be fine.
No, not exactly like that, but it's kind of interesting. Go ahead, keep talking. I'll let you know.
No, but I just want you to know that they are preparing you to trust. And that trust is so important. And then once you connect to the sense of trust and allowing, and here's the big word. They're like, tell them this word, Sarah. Surrender. Once you're in that energy of surrender, everything comes together.
Okay, so the surrendering in that. And so they're not guiding exactly when the moment will come back in. It's like really scary. I really was scared. I even cried. I got to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I was crying. I was like something in me was like this. I can't believe I was crying after all these years. Yeah, I was literally crying, and it was really bad. And
well, it was a release.
I'm finding myself in this.
It's a release.
Okay, that's what I felt, because I felt more energized, and I woke up really early the next day.
Yeah.
And that was after I had surrendered and I had gotten on my knees the night before.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
I don't know what it is about the angels and the guides, but when we fall on our knees and we're like, oh my God, just help me, I can't take it anymore, they seem to like that stuff, because they're like, okay, the human finally understands they're not in control, right? That's what the angels and the guides are waiting for us to recognize, that we have to surrender our emotional and physical need to orchestrate things in our life. So what were you going to say, Joey, before it's time for us to go? Yes.
Well, to be honest, before when I needed a therapist, I never could find a good therapist, and I used to bring them into my room, and I used to see them and talk to them. But here I was stuck. I work on TikTok, and I was stuck, and I went in the shower, and I see a pink ray in front of me and a blue ray in front of me, and it goes, "Hi, I'm Samuel," not in words, but telepathically. "Hi, I'm Archangel Michael." Then they come and sit, and I'm sitting at my desk. I go, and another one comes and goes, "Hi, I'm Archangel Zachiel," and they go, "You were one of us." Little things like that they transmitted to me. And then the solution, I would go back and everything was working fine. So, and what they do show me is they show me that the angel numbers 24 hours around the clock. Around 24 hours. Every number that you can imagine, I see that all the time, and that's what keeps me saying, even back when I had the vertigo. But I was just scared for that room. I kept remembering, no, Sarah told me your pattern, you broke that. But I'm feeling more happy. I think that they're adjusting me, and they're also helping me psychologically as well.
And you're also adjusting your frequency, if I can tell you, Joey. So your frequency, and that was part of what that vertigo was. Your frequency was off, and they were fine-tuning you and elevating your frequency, and your physical body was not able to adjust to the new frequency that they were calibrating you to. So it's all working for you. Nothing's working against you. You've got the total support
of all the angels. If you ever think there's a class that I could take to connect directly, I would love it.
Oh, well, we have class coming up, so just be sure to be on the lookout when we talk about what we've got coming up in August, and maybe you can be a part of it.
I don't think I know everything until I do.
Yeah, well, join us.
I look.
All right. Well, we've got class coming up when we post it soon in August, and that's going to be about that. And you, of course, can watch the class by Zoom, so that should be easier for you. All right, Joey, thank you so much for joining us. We know the angels have got you, and it's a pleasure talking to you always. Bye for now.
Same. Bye for now.
Bye. 866-972-7247. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on the Oldies Station. We're so glad to be connected with all of you, and I'm really glad to hear your voices and see what Spirit has to say for you. So we're going to go back to our phone lines, and I've got to go to Delray. I've got Hannah on the line. Hannah, how are you tonight?
Hi. I'm a little hoarse, so bear with me.
All right. Well,
hi, Sarah.
I'm glad to talk to you, so I will just let you talk at whatever sound that you can make, even if you squeak a little. We're all good here. And Hannah,
I sound a little hoarse.
I've got this beautiful energy around you that this is a time for you to really open up your heart and to really take yourself out of the routine of life. Maybe you're feeling a little stuck, a little stagnant, a little bored here, but there's an opening here for you to really creatively express yourself. And your guides and your angels are telling me we've got to be true to ourselves, and we can't really, stay in any kind of limitation. Everything and anything is meant to be yours, Hannah. So I want you to be open for that. What is your question for me?
Do you have a message for me from the other side?
From the other side, yes. Let's take a look here.
Yes.
Particularly looking for a gentleman on the other side, please?
Yes.
I see a man standing above you is who I have here. Makes me feel like they're connected to you and friendship, partnership, or does this make sense to you, please?
Yes.
He makes me feel like, were we married, please? Because he just makes me feel like he was connected to you.
Yes.
All right, and he wants you to know that you're not alone, and he's been holding your hand best he can, and you have to move on, and you can't feel stuck. And yes, he left too soon. He didn't want to go, but he is most certainly right here with you. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, 100%.
And if I were to take the marker of time and take a look at, I need to go to 2022. Was this a difficult year for you, honey?
Yes.
Okay. And this gentleman, it's your husband, yes, please?
Yes.
And he makes me feel like he tried to hold on, like he was sick for a while. Is that also true?
Yes.
And
100%.
and he did his best to hang on, and you did your best to take care of him. Is that also true?
Yes.
And then you were
Yes.
worried that he felt like you had given up on him, but he knows you didn't give up on him. Is that also true?
No, not really. Not that part.
Okay. Well, he wants you to know he knows you didn't give up on him. That's what he's telling me.
Yeah. Okay.
All right? Like you always were rooting for him to fight, to stay with him.
Yes.
All right? You never gave up on him. You never, no matter what he was going through, you never gave up on him. You never gave up hope. You never gave up on him. This is what he's telling me, okay? So he's very much with you, and he's very much aware, and he doesn't want you to be sad. And I know that's easier said than done for any and all of us who've lost someone. But he's very, very much present with you. And yeah. What is your question around you and your husband, please, for me, if you could?
He was very sick, and he passed.
Yeah.
Not like I knew, but was never prepared because he was a fighter.
Right.
And he was for 6 years, so he just passed last week.
Oh, sorry to hear that. And it's, he's very much present with you, because I'm going to tell you something really important, Hannah. When people pass, it usually takes me anywhere from 6, 7, 8 months, usually closer to 12 months. So I'm catching him right as he's in his transition. So he really wanted you to know that he's all right. Because normally they're not strong enough to telepathically send me any message because they're in transition. So that's pretty powerful here. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. We've been married for 50 years. Yeah. What do the spirits have any message for me?
Mm-hmm. You're not alone. And your mother's with you as well, so you know.
Yes.
Okay. She was cut of a very strong stock. Is that true? Very strong energy with your mom, please, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She makes me feel like she didn't have the easiest of lives. And so she did everything she could to prepare the way for you. Is the month of July mean anything to you, Hannah? Is that a date of someone's birth? What is that, please?
Our anniversary, marriage anniversary, 50 years this July.
It would be how many years this July?
50.
50. So your husband's transmitting the word July to me, so he's honoring your anniversary, even though he can't be here to celebrate your 50th anniversary.
That he will be it. That's exactly him.
Yeah,
to remind all the time.
Yeah, he's with you in spirit. All right. So it's a very, very powerful connection. Hannah, how did you come to find us? How did you find me?
Okay, so 2 years ago, I was driving, maybe a year ago. He was in and out from hospital in the past year or two, and I was driving back home from the hospital, and I usually listen to the oldies, and I put the station, but you came on. And all the way home, I was listening.
The nerve of me to interrupt the oldies and music. What's the matter with me?
So I realized, I said, they don't have the oldies in the evening. Okay, so on Wednesdays, we have Sarah. So every now and then I do listen, but I was very busy with him.
Yes.
So taking care of him, so I didn't always have the time. But that's how I heard about it. And sometimes he was in bed next to me, and I would listen to you, and he'd say, "What did she say?"
Well, I'm glad.
But
so you see, I met him already. Yes.
The sad part that he didn't want to go. Some people say, "Okay, I'm sick. I don't want to suffer anymore. Just take me.
No, he didn't want to go. And that's why he told me you never gave up on him. He fought, and you fought right with him.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Till the last breath, he asked me, am I dying?
Yeah.
And I said, maybe you'll pull through and God would lead you all through the way. And I asked him, are you afraid? And he said, yes, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So I said, don't worry, because God's going to hold your hand and he's going to lead you through everything. And I'm here till your last breath, because I slept there the whole
every
week
night
in the hospital.
I see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I can tell you that he is in peace, and perhaps the reason why it was easy for him to come through, even though he's not quite officially landed, so to speak, he's still disconnecting from this physical world, is because we all knew each other already, right? You were listening to me long before I even knew you existed, and he got to hear me, so he's like, I know who I can contact who can let her know I'm okay. I'm going to Sarah. So looks like we're all here together, and that should be some powerful evidence for you that you're not alone. And I'm honored to be able to be a part of bringing that information to you, and of course, letting you know that he will honor your 50th anniversary even from the other side, my darling. All right?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for
Sarah.
listening.
Thank
You're
you
welcome.
very much.
You're welcome. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it's not easy, right? We spend your whole life, and what is God preparing her for, right? So while he was sick, God was preparing Hannah to be able to be strong and to be on her own, and preparing her husband to not be afraid when he left this earth and went to heaven. So you see, God is always preparing us for something, and I think a lot of us have been concerned with what death means, and it's really not the end of something. It's the closing of our existence in the physical body, but the spirit, the soul, is a continuum of time, and that we're always ever present. And let that be some hope for those of you listening, or those of you who hear this program in the future, that no matter where you are in your journey, all the people that you miss, all the people that we so wish, oh God, how we wish they still were here to help us, to be with us. Well, guess what? They are right here, and they never really leave us. They're right where we want them to be, right in our hearts. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we'll go right back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. Thank you for listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and I'm Sarah Spiritual. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
There's a light that shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my day.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WFLM 104.7 HD3 Palm Beach Shores, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies channel.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at SarahSpiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussion to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
There's It is the answer now, and we can see love. There's a light, there's a light.
Yes, indeed. There's a light. And that light shines inside of you and shines inside of me. So happy that you're joining us here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. We're here every Wednesday night from 6:30 to 9 p.m. So glad that you're joining us. We've got some things coming up at the center, at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I just wanted to call your attention to. We've got this weekend, we've got Calvin Cates of the Crystal Healing Bed, the energy that's from Casa Dom Ignacio, the energy of this spiritual healing power that is transmuted through these crystals that balance your chakra and your energy and promote well-being, emotional well-being, and spiritual healing, as well as physical healing. So if you'd like to have an appointment at the Expedito Enlightenment Center with Calvin Cates, you can go to the ExpeditoEnlightenmentCenter.com, or you can call the Expedito Center at 561-682-0955, 561-682-0955. That's where you can make an appointment to schedule your session this Friday or Saturday with Calvin Cates. And you can even call that number and make a personal session with me, Sarah Spiritual, and get on my schedule. And we've got a class coming up next Thursday. We've got our Oracle card class, Angels and Oracles. If you want to find a way, if you'd like to feel a way to connect to your spirit guides, your angels, you need a little help, guess what? We've got the class for you, because we like to teach you how to pick up a card and look at the card and maybe read the words on that card, but then tune into the angels and the guides and get some insight. Maybe there's 2 words. It says, all is well, or be peaceful, or the situation you're asking about is resolving itself, right? And then you sit and you meditate with that card, and you can really connect with your guides and your angels. It's not only a class where I talk about how to open up your energy to connect through oracle cards and angel cards, but it's also a class where we're going to get to work with each other and be very interactive. And whether you're online or live at the center, we have a way for you to be interactive with each other, and you're going to get to test your skills, and you're going to be surprised how much you can really connect and messages you can get that are be of use for someone else, and of course build your confidence that you know that you're connecting with your angels and your guides. So that is Thursday, June 26th. The cost of that class is only $17, and we would love to see you there at the Expedito Enlightenment Center or live online. Go to SarahSpiritual.com, and SarahSpiritual.com is also the place you can register for your own personal reading. If you've enjoyed the little snippets of conversations we've had with everybody here live on the radio, imagine what we could cover in 30 minutes, just you and me, all alone on the phone or live in person or via video. Think of the questions you could ask. What's been on your mind? Let's dive in and see what Spirit's got to say. Go to SarahSpiritual.com. Well, we're going to go back to our phone lines, and we're going to go to Boca. And I've got Lisa in Boca. Lisa, how are you tonight? How are you, Lisa? Are you with us? Lisa? I don't know, Miss Lisa. All right, Lisa, we're going to give you a minute to get yourself together there. Don't know where you are. So we're going to go to Broward County, and hopefully we'll get back to Lisa. But we're going to go to Broward County now, and we've got Deshaun. Deshaun, what's going on? How are you doing?
Hey, hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. Good to make this connection with you again. And you've been kind of going through your own personal roller coaster. Is that true, Deshaun?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it's not been an easy time for you, and you're most certainly doing your best to figure out where do you go from here and how do you build yourself back up. I feel like financially you're feeling a little stuck and stagnant, and there are some matters that are concerning you that seem to be rather important. So I'm going to let you ask your question of me, Deshaun.
Yes. I would like to know, is everything going to go well with my legal situation, and do I have, is my relationship worth the fight?
What is the birthday of the person that you're asking about for the relationship?
11/28/96.
Got yourself a fiery one. My goodness, right? That's an interesting dynamic, right? Sometimes you guys are like little cats and dogs fighting. Is that true? Or disagreeing, I should say.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. But this person does love you. They do care for you. They just, well, they're a little controlling. That's the only word I can use right now. But that's because of their own insecurities and their inability to be able to really just trust that everything's going to be okay. You guys are under a lot of stress, so it's not allowing them to relax into the relationship. This person does well. They're very free-spirited when they get to relax in the relationship and they get to be their own self, and you guys have a lot on your plate. So I'm not going to say for you to push or fight for anything, but I am going to tell you to let's allow this to unfold. You'll know more where both you and your partner, want to be in this relationship as we come closer to September and October of this year. I just feel like the dust will have settled, and you'll both be able to see if through this trial and tribulation you've grown closer or you've grown apart. When it comes to your legal situation, we've got a court date coming up. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that is next month, please?
It's 8/8/25.
8/8. Okay, so about 6 weeks from now. Well, where I'm sitting right now, Deshaun, this year is a year of challenges and trials and tribulations for you, but it's all what is God preparing you for. God's preparing you to make sure that you never get yourself in this little snafu again. I do feel that it's going to turn out better than it could. I feel like you're going to get some favorable results from this experience. This is the type of call that I really would love to do as a one-on-one personal session with you so I can get into specifics. But I am going to tell you this. I want you to pray Psalm 23, Psalm 27, and 28. 23, 27, and 28. So that we can have some favor for you in the court, so that things don't turn against you. Because I feel like they're not as lenient as I'd like to see them on, so this whole thing can just get dismissed and be done. Does that make sense to you and resonate with you?
Yes.
Okay. But all in all, Spirit tells me no matter what, you're going to be fine and you're going to land on your feet. So we're going to take that as you'll be fine. All right, my dear?
Okay, thank you. And one last question, if I may.
Yes.
Yes. I would like to know if I have any spirits that's looking over me.
Well, right now, at this moment in time, I can tell you Archangel Michael, front and center, the angel of justice and protection. And there's an energy of a gentleman that stands over you, Deshaun, that seems to come from the male side of the family, seems to be connected to father's side of the family, moving it up, almost feels like a grandfather figure. Did your grandfather pass on your dad's side, please?
Yes, that my dad told me, yes, but I never met him.
Okay. Well, your father's father, your grandfather on your dad's side, because the man shows me he's above your father, meaning he's your father's father. Your grandfather is on the other side looking after you. Even though you never met him, he is looking after you. All right, my dear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to put in a prayer
Thank
for you for 8/8, and do your best. Maybe you and I can do a phone session before that so that we can make sure that you're fully prepared and you're spiritually ready to show the universe that you trust it. All right? Thank you so much, Deshaun.
Thank you.
Bye for now. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 866-972-7247. We're on a marathon right here on our phone lines, and I've got to go to Boca, and I've got Nikki on the line. Nikki, how are you tonight? Nikki, are you with us? All right. I don't know. We got Nikki on the phone anymore, so someone dropping off is somebody else's gain right about now. And if you drop off the phone, you want to pick up the phone and call us back at 866-972-7247. I know you got to hold a while, but we're going to go right to our next caller, and we're going to go to Julia. And Julia is in West Palm Beach. Julia, how are you tonight?
I am well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to make this connection with you, Julia. And what is your question for me tonight?
My concerns are my children. They're adults, but specifically my son.
All right.
That is my biggest concern.
What is his birthday?
1/17/92.
So this has not been a good year for your son.
Oh, no.
This has been probably the
Hasn't been
wake
for the
up.
last-
Yeah. When I go back, I actually go back to 2024, like the summer of 2024 all the way into this year. So about a year, a whole year's time has been twists and turns and difficulties for your son. So what does God want him to glean from this? This is a time for him to step in his power, and it is a year of challenges and really molding him into stepping into his truth of who he is and giving him the strength that he needs so that as he grows in life. But I do feel that when I take him out of this 2025 time as we get closer to his next birthday, I feel that he's going to be more settled and life is going to be more organized for him, and he's going to have kind of his place. What is your burning question about your son?
My burning question is the very important, super important exam that's coming up that he has to take in July. It's a defining moment. He was not able to obtain a passing score for that exam when he took it the last time, and he's taken it again. This will be the second time this year.
Well, your son has difficulty focusing, especially this year. It's been hard for him. So your son, does your son pray, please?
Is my son what?
Does he pray? Do you know if he prays?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you to suggest your son pray the 23rd Psalm before he goes in to take that test and even before he studies for that test.
What is it called? 23rd Psalm?
Psalm 23. Just Google Psalm 23. It'll be there. And that will help him. It will help him with the retention as well, but it'll just help clear his mind. Your son tends to second guess himself and sabotage himself. So it's not like he doesn't know the material. He has the answers. So he is meant to pass this test. So you have to instill in him that he can do it. He has to take a lot of practice tests so he can almost have like a cellular memory in his mind that he's confident and that he's able to do this, and so that his own personality can trust the experience. Because I feel like when he failed, I don't really feel like he failed by that much either. So, and these tests are very specific.
He did not. He did not. He did not. He did not.
Only by
that much.
By 3 points. Yeah, I see that.
He did not fail by that much, but it's one of the most important exams that he will be taking in the state of Florida. it's the same exam that he eventually passed in California. So he has to take it here. I'm not going to be publicly saying too much about it because
No,
it's,
that's understand. I understand.
It has to do with his career. So
no,
but
he's
it's
but
very
he's meant to
concerning
pass.
to me,
He's-
and I.
All right, but stop being concerned. I want you to see yourself picking up the phone and hearing your son say, Mom, I passed. I passed. I got this really
Okay.
awesome score. All right. I understand the concern, and as mothers, what do? We worry. But you're lowering his vibration by holding the fear of what happens if he doesn't pass. If he could pass in California, he can pass here, okay? If he missed it by just a couple of points, that just means he wasn't interpreting a few questions the best way he could have, or it was a couple of the questions that he wasn't as prepared for.
It was one whole session, yeah.
And your
One
son
whole
is
session, but
very,
this time
and he's
there's a
very
tutor.
analytical, your son. So he dissects
Yeah.
everything. So he overthought it, overcomplicated it, and that's where it is. So now he knows what he did. God prepared him for this time around. We have to trust it. That's why God let him fail the first time. Now he's prepared so that he can move on with his career. And I see a whole new world, a whole new life, and the next level up in his career as we come into 2026. So he's should be golden here. So as long as he doesn't get his head in the game and mess with himself and his confidence, he's going to be fine. So we're not going to think or say anything less than your son is the man who has completed and passed XYZ test. And that's all you're going to say every day.
Okay.
All right, my dear?
Perfect. All right. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
You're welcome. And
can
how
I
did
ask
you?
one more question, please?
Sure. And how did you hear about us?
I'm constantly tuning into NPR. It's the only thing I listen to on the radio, and I just happened to be picking up dinner for him because he's studying right now, and I heard your voice, and I said I got to call in. So I called in, and I stayed on hold until I was able to come and talk to you.
Well, we're very appreciative of you waiting, and we're glad we can be of service. What is your other question?
Will I be moving this year? Will we be moving this year? I should say.
Moving. This year is a year of expansion and growth for you, so I'm not 100% sure it's going to happen in the next 5 months, but if you look within the next 8 months, there is a move available for you. I don't know if you're going to pull it off before the end of the year, but you would be moving in and about the perfect time if you make a move.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And I see that you're over here in Okeechobee.
Yes, we are
Okeechobee
in
Road?
West Palm Beach in the Tree of Life Plaza, the Expedito Enlightenment Center. You should pop your head in and come say hi and check out all the beautiful things we have there.
Right. Is that where I can get an appointment for a one-on-one?
Yes, you can. You can even call the center as well, the Expedito Center, and we can have a one-on-one. Absolutely.
What is it called? Expedita?
Expedito Enlightenment Center. Or just Google SarahSpiritual and it'll come up for you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Bye
very
for
much.
now. You're welcome. Bye. 866-972-7247. We've got to go to Connecticut, and we've got Gwen on the line. Gwen, how are you tonight?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to make this connection with you again. Gwen, God's been preparing you, so what's your question?
I don't know. Am I on the right path? I guess. I'm confused.
Well, this year is a year for your career and your money, or anything dealing with finances here. So do you have some financial transaction that you're working on at this time, please?
I did sell my trailer.
Okay. And that was recently, correct?
Correct. So it's under contract.
Good.
The house is up for sale,
Very good.
and it's been shown. I'm actually in Maine right now, and it's been shown 4 times since I've been here.
Perfect.
I still don't have a lawyer.
Ah, well, this is a year for you to get all that in order and to get the money together. And, you know, God was delaying things so that things would line up perfectly at the perfect time. So we took care of the trailer. Now the next step is the house. Then we get the lawyer so
Right.
that we can handle the complications associated with everything.
Right. The judge denied me an extension to find a lawyer.
So are you going to go to court without a lawyer?
Unfortunately, I have to because my next court date is the 24th.
Next Tuesday. Well, that's John the Baptist's day, so I'll say throw some holy water on yourself and go to court.
Yeah.
You've got your documentation, correct? You've got your evidence. You've got things you need, correct?
Correct.
Then you speak your truth.
And I keep, right. And I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to break everything right down the middle.
That's being more than fair, given the story. So my guides are telling me
Correct.
you're doing more than, you're going above and beyond.
Okay.
So just stand in your truth. And I would tell you before you go to court, I want you to pray Psalm 7, Psalm 27, Psalm 32, Psalm 34, Psalm 35, 111, 138, okay? 7, 27, 32, 34, 35, 111, and 138. This is all so that your energy can transform, so your words are heard clearly, so that if the people involved on the other side want to be little snickerdoodles and try to cough up a ruckus, the judge sees right through their antics and says, okay, she's being more than fair. This is what we're doing. And boom, we're done. Okay?
Okay.
You're halfway there.
Okay.
Spirit said things were going to work out for you and that you would be okay. And so here we are. We're coming in the final finish line. So let's just trust this experience and know that God's been preparing you to stand up for yourself, to speak your truth, to come from your heart, but to also discern that not everybody's going to do the right thing around you. So that's why you're going to surrender and ask God to assist you, and Archangel Michael, the angel of protection and justice. All right, Gwen, thank you so much for your call. We greatly appreciate you.
I have one more quick question.
Yes, yes.
Will I find a home in Connecticut?
Do you have a town in Connecticut? Because I've been to Connecticut. It's not a small place. So where in Connecticut are you looking?
I'm looking like Woolkit, Waterbury, and Southington.
Waterbury, Southington. They seem to have a good vibe to them. You'll find something. Find something.
Okay.
It's your year of money
Okay, that's
transactions,
right.
so you're right on track. You sold one thing, you've got other things coming. So then the next thing will be to get your house. All right, Gwen, thank you so much for your call. We greatly appreciate you and
Thank you.
trust the universe has your back. And John the Baptist Day, front and center. All right, we'll all be praying for you.
Okay.
All right. Bye
Thank
for
you.
now. You're welcome. Bye. 866-972-7247. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we've got some more calls on the board, and I'm so happy to be able to talk to you. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on the Oldie Station. And you're just joining us. We've been here since 6:30 p.m., connecting with all of you, answering your questions. We're here every Wednesday night. Matter of fact, we've been here every Wednesday night for coming on to 16 years of being on national radio. On a Wednesday night, just always here, just always here, answering questions and talking to the universe. I mean, Wouldn't you like to have a friend who can talk to the universe just in case you missed an answer? That's me, Sarah Spiritual. So come on, join us every Wednesday night. Share the page, share the love and the light on Facebook under Sarah Spiritual, or YouTube and Sarah Spiritual. Join me on my Instagram page. Visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. That's where not only do I do in-person readings, but that's where you'll find all of my products, and you'll find crystals and herbs and oils and sprays and necklaces and bracelets. It's Buddhas, fairies. We've got it all. And I sure want to make sure you get everything that you want and you need on your spiritual journey. So pop into the Expedito Enlightenment Center. We're there Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 6 p.m. So we'd love to see you at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. We're going to go back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. And I've got Lana in Oklahoma. Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
So I guess my question would be, what does God have in store for me?
Well, 2024 seems like it wasn't the easiest time, yes? Right? Been a little rocky
Correct.
for you?
Yeah, it was not.
Not good at time
Yes,
at all.
correct.
And so when we move you into this year, kind of pulling yourself back up, my guides are like, she's up out of her bootstraps here. So we're trying to pull you back up, and things are meant to move forward for you. This year represents, I want you to think of it as a fresh start, a new beginning, and new, almost new friendships, partnerships, new connections with people. I feel like it's time for you to kind of change out the old and bring in the new. And when I look at the people around you, I think you really came to an understanding who's really on your side, who's not on your side, almost like who your friends are in these past couple of years. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, I have an online community that's pretty upbeat and positive, and I'm slowly meeting them one by one, which is really nice. So, and then I've got one friend in my life right now who's a couple girlfriends in my life right now that are really nice, and if I needed help, they'd be there.
Right, but that wasn't always the case. You haven't always had that support, so it's good to know that you've got that support right now. And, my guides tell me you're going through a reset of you, learning to love yourself, putting yourself first, healthy boundaries, and also kind of deciding what do you want next in your life. And that's where God has you, so you can decide, what do I want? Not what other people expect me to want, not what other people want me to do, but what do I want to do? What makes me happy? What puts me in harmony? What makes me grounded? What makes me feel good? And that's what God is leading you to this year of 2025.
Okay.
It's going to be a powerful year for you. It's a good building block, foundational year for you as you move forward. And was there a thought and an idea that you may move in the next couple of years? Was that something you were tossing around in the air? Because I see that in the energy as a possibility, yes. So thank you for that confirmation. So they're also setting you up for making a move, right? Your guides and your angels are making sure that you're set up for a move. And they also talked to me about you being much more spiritual and tuning in, tapping in, being more aligned with spirit. Is that also true?
I have been in the past, then lately.
Okay.
Then, I had something traumatic happen just before COVID, and I cut off my connection to source and spirit and all of that.
Well, get back on the bandwagon. It's time.
Do you have any Psalms or anything that I could...
Yes.
That could help me with that?
Yeah. You know you're not alone, right? I mean, you know that in the core of your being, correct? You know you have your guides and your angels. You know your loved ones are very much with you. Okay?
I think, well, I'm about to cry, so I would say
yes. Yeah, they're very much with you. Very much with you. When I look here, they want you to pray Psalm 23, Psalm 57, Psalm 5, and they want you to pray Psalm 27. This will bring you peace. This will bring you clarity. This will bring you some good old-fashioned good luck, and also help you be well received by those who are a vibrational match for you, a good frequency. So you'll be well received by others, right? So it's 23, 57, 5, and 27. Those will help you in this journey.
Okay.
And remember, time heals wounds, and God has a plan for you. And you're not just meant to use your connection for yourself, but you're also using your connection to inspire others, because the things you have been through, you have the power to give other people hope and inspiration so that they don't have to feel as alone as you have. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not alone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
One other quick question.
Yes.
Where would be a better place for me to move? Because I've been thinking like Texas, Arizona, and then Florida. I've even thought out of the country, but
no, you're not
that's
leaving the country.
not possible.
That's not happening. For some reason, I'm not feeling Arizona. I feel like Texas may have some more energy that seems a little familiar to you, and Florida just may be way too expensive for you to even want to put up with some of the things that you might have to put up with in making a move here. So I would look at Texas as my first choice.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for your call. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Bye for now. 866-972-7247. And we're going to go to Kayla. And Kayla is in North Palm Beach. Kayla, how are you tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to make this connection with you. And how did you hear about the show?
A family friend called in.
Well, here we are. This is a year of some self-discovery for you. This is a year for you to really ask the question of yourself, what am I meant to do? What is my purpose? What is my mission? So I think you're starting to wrap your head around, well, what's my life really meant to be like? And what am I supposed to do for work and career? And how am I going to get there? And exploring your ideas and really using it as a stepping stone so that you can be on a good trajectory over the next 3 years. The next 3 years are going to take you to a place where you're going to feel like you've arrived. And so that 3-year period takes me to 2028. So in 2028, you're going to really feel like you've kind of landed on your feet and you've got all your ducks in a row. What is your question for me tonight, Kayla?
I just wanted to know if you had any messages for me from any of the spirits about my future, or if there's anything they want to tell me.
Okay, well, that essentially is what I was just doing for you. All right, everything I told you is, everything I tell everyone is coming from spirit. So may sound like we're just having a conversation.
No, but if there was someone in my family trying...
well, that's a different question.
In my family?
Right? That's a different question, yeah. I'm talking to your guides and my guides when I give you the information. We'll see if anybody steps forward for you, Kayla. You're looking for a female energy, is that true? Mom's side of the family?
Yes.
Yes. Feels like grandmother energy, is that also true, please?
No.
Okay, who are we looking for, please, then?
My aunt.
Your aunt, okay. Sister to your mother, please?
Yes.
Okay. And is this a recent passing? Because I'm not making a connection with her.
No, she passed about 8 years ago.
Okay. I do not have her. I'm not making a connection with her. Did your mom's mom, your grandmother, pass, please? Because I have a woman who's above your mother.
No.
Okay, so it must be your great-grandma.
No, but my dad's mother passed.
Your dad's mom passed. Because I have... Is she a recent passing, please?
No.
Okay. I have a grandmother. That's all I know. So that's all I can give you. But I don't have a strong connection with anybody on the other side. So what that tells me is that there's nothing burning that they've got to tell you at this moment. You just want to trust that the universe has your back and that they are with you and they are connected to you. All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You are on path with your career. There is some studying that you have to do to get yourself on track, but the next 3 years are going to reveal that all to you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Kayla. Bye for now. Bye. 866-972-7247. We're going to go back to our phone lines, and we've got Stephanie, and Stephanie is in Delray. Stephanie, how are you tonight?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Good to make this connection with you, Stephanie. How did you hear about us?
Oh, I'm so excited. I found you on the radio, TOC, one night. And I ended up sitting in my driveway for hours listening.
Aw.
And then I was leaving. My mother-in-law's in the hospital, so on my way home, I put the radio on, and there you were. And I was like, oh, yay, it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. I know. I say the same thing on Wednesday. I'm like, yay, it's Wednesday. So,
yay.
All right, Miss Stephanie. So let me just tell you that this is a year for you to get your life in order and balance, right? And if there's anything you're feeling is you're not really feeling out of balance or in control of things that are going on around you. Is that true?
I am in no control of anything.
Anything, exactly. And not that you like to control things, but balance and the good equilibrium of everything, the flow is so important to you.
I'm a Libra. I'm
it's
Libra,
important.
And
your mind,
everything's off kilter. And yeah.
And your mind is going 100 miles a minute. So I'm wondering if you're even sleeping. But surrender. Surrender knowing that everything you do with the best of intentions. And that all you can do is show up and do your best for everybody and everything. And you're really spread really thin right now. So you also have to stop and take care of self. You know, my guides are like, tell her to take her vitamins. Don't forget to take your vitamins. Like, do the things that you know to do to help yourself. What is your burning question for us tonight?
I just, my last reading I had, my aunt came through and kind of took up a lot of my time, which, you know, that was okay. She's lovely. She's very funny. But I was hoping, and my mom poked in, you know, she popped in. It was nice to get some life confirmations from her.
Correct.
But I know my worst problem is I don't do what I say I'm going to do. And I have to generate finances.
Okay.
And I need confirmation from Spirit that I know they're over there saying, don't wait any longer. Yes, we told you this years ago, but, you know, go ahead, write the book, and we got you. And I guess that's what I'm looking for.
Well, it's write the book, but it's open up your creative energy. And, you know, this year represents that order and balance for you. Next year, not to procrastinate and put it off any longer, but next year is the year that a lot of creative collaboration and things come together. So yes, start that dialogue, start that writing, so to speak. Trust that the universe is going to support you. But it's also about you writing up in a way that your message is not just the message that's the story they're telling me, but it's the message that can be impactful to others, that can be a tool to assist others on their journey so that we can make more sense of life itself. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And
okay,
it's something that is there for you, and I want you to just simply begin. You're giving yourself way too much pressure. That's why you procrastinate. Everything has to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's why we rewrite and we edit and we revamp and we go, no, this section here really should be in another chapter. It does better over here. You'll know once you get going. But I am the woman who is the conduit of energy, that is the creative source of God in motion. I am the woman who is writing a book. That's what you're saying to yourself. I am the woman who's the conduit of the energy of the universe, and it flows through me with ease and grace. And as it flows through me, I begin to pour upon the paper the words of wisdom and of my heart and my soul that will be impactful for others. This is how I want you to see yourself. I don't want you to see yourself as someone who's scattered and not accomplishing anything, because that's not what I see. Every flower has its time to bloom, and you're preparing for your blooming.
Okay.
So just trust.
Thank you. I just hope it, yes, that's very helpful, because I was afraid I might have missed my window.
Oh, no, absolutely not. You're coming into what's the sweetest spot of the whole journey of your soul in a period of 10 years, 26, 27, 28. So not that I want to say, okay, well, procrastinate. Just this is the time to get it done, because there's a lot of success that can follow from this, not just because we wrote a book and we made some money, but because we followed our heart's passion, and then it opens up other doors for you. It's not limited to the book. It's what the book can do for you. This makes sense to you, yes?
Yes, very much so. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have two guardian angels. One is well, maybe you see them. There's one that stands alone, and then there's the collective. If you could just tell the one that stands alone, I love him, and thank you.
Well,
and
the one
you
that
for his protection. He protects me so much.
The one that stands alone is your guardian angel that's been with you since birth, and was with you in a past lifetime and will continue to be with you in another lifetime. So they're happy to stand alone and look after you, because they're going to be with you for a very, very long time, Stephanie, for eternity. It's like they're your wingman, okay? And the other angel is
not to discredit the collective.
Well, no, but that's a collective of spirit guides, really, all right? Higher vibrational beings and guides that are together, right?
Yeah.
So that's who those people are for you. All right, Stephanie. Thank you so much.
I feel them daily. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for
You've,
listening. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You've been most lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye for now. Bye. 866-972-7247. Write the number down. I sure would love to talk to you next Wednesday night. If we didn't get to your call tonight, then join me next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'd love to talk to you. We did our best. We got to almost everybody, and I really appreciate everyone who took the time to call in and wait for their call to be answered. Thank you to my friends on Facebook and YouTube, on the Sarah Spiritual page. Visit me and follow me on Instagram, Sarah Spiritual, and Facebook and YouTube. And pop into the Expedito Enlightenment Center and pick up a candle, an incense, a crystal. Join us there for our class on the 26th. Go to SarahSpiritual.com so you can book a personal session with me. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing time and space with me. Good night. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light to open everyone to love. Love may hold the answer we are looking for. Love may open up
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answer your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at SarahSpiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.